Hello students. Okay. In the previous video we have seen what are data marts, okay, and we compare the data mart with the data warehouse. Okay, now also we have talked about the question which is arise by InMon, okay, for most of the IT managers regarding whether to build a data warehouse first or data mart first. Then we have seen the difference between data warehouse and data mart. Okay, now when we talk about building the data warehouse, okay, there are basically two approaches. Okay, first is build a data marts, small data marts, and then combine these data marts, okay, to form the whole data warehouse. Okay, so this approach is called as a bottom up approach. Okay, and another is top down approach, okay, where we build a data warehouse first, and from that data warehouse we get the data into the data mart. Okay, so in top down approach we build first data warehouse, and from that data warehouse we build the data mart. Okay, and the scope of data mart will be related to a particular department only. Okay, or we can say these are the customized ones. Okay, mini version of data warehouse which are customized to a particular department. Okay, so now we'll look at both the approaches, top down approach as well as bottom up approach. Okay, so as we have talked, in top down approach we first build data warehouse and then we build data marts. Okay, so what are the advantages of this? Okay, so first is a truly corporate effort and enterprise view of data. Okay, here we get the total view of the data enterprise wide. Okay, so we can see the whole enterprise data. Okay, second is inherently architected, not a union of disparate data marts. Okay, as we are here building the data warehouse first, okay, it is not the union of data marts, single central storage of data about the content. Okay, so here we store all the data related to a particular enterprise, corporate, or maybe company at a single place. Okay, then centralized rules and control. As we are building the data warehouse first, we can enforce rules and controls to the data warehouse. Okay, so that is centralized rules and controls. Okay, if we build the data mart first, okay, then the rules will be applicable, okay, which are applicable to that particular department only. Okay, म्हणजेच काय तर जर आपण समजा इथे डेटा मार्ट पहिल्यांदा डेव्हलप केला, ओके, तर काय होणार आहे बेसिकली व्हॉट विल हॅपन, तर त्या केसमध्ये जे त्या पर्टिक्युलर डिपार्टमेंटला ॲप्लिकेबल रूल्स असतील तेच फक्त त्या डेटा मार्टला एन्फोर्स केले जाणार आहे. ओके, बट हियर वी आर नाव टॉकिंग अबाउट डेटा वेअरहाऊस. ओके, सो रूल्स विल बी centralized ones. Okay, may see quick results if implemented with iteration. Okay, so if we go on implementing different features one by one in an incremental fashion, okay, then we may see quick results. Okay, so these are the advantages of top down approach. Okay, but along with advantage there are some disadvantages also. Okay, takes longer to build even with a iterative method. Okay, though we are implementing the iterations, okay, but it will take much longer time, high exposure to risk of failure. Okay, okay, there are number of reasons. Okay, because it requires cross functional skills. Okay, because here we are taking the data from different departments. Okay, or we can say different domains basically. Okay, so there may be a data which is from manufacturing domain, which there may be a data which may be from sales, okay, which may be from production. Okay, so here we require cross functional skills. Okay, high level of cross functional skills. Okay, means what, here we require a manpower, okay, or the employees who are building the data warehouse, okay, must know the rules and regulations, or we can say they must know how the production system works, how the manufacturing system works, how the sales works, and so on. Okay, so it requires high level of cross functional skills. Okay, without that they cannot build a data warehouse. Okay, so due to this there is a high exposure of risk of failure. Okay, similarly high outlay without proof of concept. Okay, here we cannot build a smaller prototype. Okay, we are thinking in a big picture. Okay, we are considering the whole enterprise. Okay, that's why there is a high outlay without a proof of concept. Okay, we do not get the return very easily. Okay, so that is the main problem. Okay, so you cannot show to the management that this is a sample copy. Okay, or this is a proof of concept. Okay, because our what we can say, our outlay is much broader. Okay, so that's why there is a high exposure to risk of failure. Okay, so now we'll talk about bottom up approach, where we build the data mart first. Okay, so what are the advantages? Fastest and easier implementation of manageable pieces. Okay, so here as we are building the data mart first, okay, we are concentrating on a particular department only. Okay, so we can easily implement that data mart. Okay, favorable return on investment and proof of concept. As we are building this data mart, okay, these are similarly these are easy to implement. Okay, we can get a quicker result and we can show this to the top level management. Okay, that is called as a proof of concept. Okay, म्हणजेच काय तर आपण अपर जी मॅनेजमेंट आहे त्यांना आपण क्विकली एक डेटा मार्ट बिल्ड करून काय दाखवू शकतो की ह्या प्रकारे आपण हे बिल्ड करणार आहोत. ओके, म्हणजे त्यांना सुद्धा थोडा कॉन्फिडन्स येऊ शकेल. देन लेस रिस्क ऑफ फेल्युअर. ॲज वी आर कॉन्सन्ट्रेटिंग ऑन पर्टिक्युलर डिपार्टमेंट, ओके, देअर इज अ लेस रिस्क ऑफ फेल्युअर. ओके, inherently incremental, can schedule important data mart first. Okay, so depending upon the our requirement, okay, we can build the important data mart first and the data marts which are not required immediately. Okay, so we can delay the implementation of that data mart. Okay, then allows project team to learn and grow. Okay, so as we are concentrating on a one department at a time, the project team who is building that data warehouse and data mart, okay, they will learn from their mistake. Okay, so that is called as a learn and grow. Okay, but along with advantages there are some disadvantage. Okay, what are the disadvantage? Each data mart has its own narrow view of data. Okay, here we do not get the big picture of the enterprise. Okay, there will be a narrow vision related to that particular department only. Then permits redundant data in every data mart. Okay, as we are developing this data mart separately, okay, or maybe one by one, okay, there may be a redundancy. What do you mean by redundancy? Same data may be required, or same data may be stored at different data marts. For example, the customer data. Okay, customer data may be there in the sales. Okay, or maybe there in the marketing. Okay, okay, both require customer data. Okay, but both the data mart will store the same information. Okay, that is called as a redundant data. Then perpetuate inconsistent and irreconcilable data. Okay, so as we are developing these data marts separately, okay, there must be some inconsistency. Okay, same data can be represented differently. Okay, due to which it becomes irreconcilable. Okay, then proliferates unmanageable interface. Okay, so these interfaces, okay, which are developed for that data mart, okay, and when we try to combine them, okay, these becomes unmanageable. Okay, so we have talked about these disadvantages. Okay, so every both the top down as well as bottom up approach had their own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, then how to go about building the data warehouse and data mart. Okay, so although the top down and bottom up approaches each have their own advantage and disadvantage or drawback, a compromise approach accommodating both the views appears to be practical. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are combining both the approaches. In this approach, that is practical approach, we do not lose sight of overall big picture for the entire enterprise. Okay, so we keep on looking the enterprise perspective, and then we start building the data mart. Okay, the steps in this practical approach are as follows. Okay, so first is a plan and define requirements at the overall corporate level. Second is create a surrounding architect for the complete warehouse. Then third, confirm and standardize the data content. And last one is implement the data warehouse as a series of super marts, or we can say data marts one at a time. Okay, so these are the four steps which are there in the practical approach. Okay, in real world, if we want to if we try to build a suppose 5-story building. Okay, so okay, every floor will be like a data mart. Okay, this is a just analogy. Okay, म्हणजे आपण समजा रिअल वर्ल्डमधलं एखादं एक्झाम्पल घेतलं की समजा मला 5 मजली बिल्डिंग बांधायची. ओके, सो आय विल फर्स्ट बिल्ड अ फर्स्ट फ्लोअर. ओके, and then I will try to build a second floor. But what will happen, okay, if I build a first floor only, okay, the basement will not be that much strong. Okay, म्हणजे जेव्हा मी 5 माळ्याची बिल्डिंग बांधायची मला आणि मी समजा एक एक मजला त्याचा चढवत गेलो. ओके, तर काय होईल, तर आपला जो बेसमेंट असणार किंवा ग्राउंड फ्लोअर असणार आहे तो तेवढा त्याचा पाया जो आहे तो तेवढा खोल असला पाहिजे. अदरवाईज व्हॉट विल हॅपन, दॅट बिल्डिंग विल गेट कोलॅप्स. म्हणजे त्याचा जर पाया मजबूत नसेल देन इट कॅनॉट होल्ड अ बिल्डिंग अप टू 5 स्टोरी. म्हणजे 5 मजली बिल्डिंग तेवढं होल्ड केली जाणार नाही. ओके, सो हिअर व्हॉट वी आर डुईंग, आपण इथे आता काय करतो आहे बेसिकली, तर ते जसं आपण अगेन बिल्डिंगचं एक्झाम्पल, मला 5 माळ्याची बिल्डिंग बांधायची आहे हे मी कन्सिडर करून त्याप्रमाणे बिल्डिंगचं डिझाईन करणार आणि त्याच्यानंतर काय करणार, तर त्या हेतूने मी काय करणार, त्याचा जो पाया असणार आहे त्या बिल्डिंगचा तो तेवढा बेस त्याचा तयार करून घेणार. ओके, ड्यू टू सम कन्स्ट्रेंट, ओके, मे बी फायनान्शियल, काही फायनान्शियल गोष्टींमुळे मी फक्त आता पहिलाच ग्राउंड फ्लोअरच बिल्ड करतो आहे. ओके, बट वेनेवर आय गेट टाईम अँड मनी आय विल बिल्ड द सेकंड फ्लोअर, थर्ड फ्लोअर, फोर्थ फ्लोअर अँड सो ऑन. ओके, मग मी त्याच्यावर एक एक माळा किंवा एक एक फ्लोअर बिल्ड करू शकेन. बट त्याच्यासाठी नेसेसरी काय आहे, तर माझा व्ह्यू जो आहे तो माझा क्लिअर असला पाहिजे की आय वॉन्ट टू बिल्ड 5 स्टोरी बिल्डिंग. ओके, मग सिमिलरली इथे आपण हाच अप्रोच यूज करणार आहोत की इथे आपण आपला व्ह्यू काय असणार आहे, तर मला कॉर्पोरेट लेवलला एक डेटा वेअरहाऊस बिल्ड करायचं आहे आणि अकॉर्डिंगली आपण प्लॅनिंग वगैरे त्याचं करणार आहोत आणि त्याच्यानंतर त्याचे रूल्स रेग्युलेशन्स वगैरे सगळे ठरवणार आणि त्याच्यानंतर आपण काय करणार, त्याच्या अंडर एक एक सुपर मार्ट किंवा आपण म्हणूया डेटा मार्ट बिल्ड करत जाणार. ओके, ज्याला ओव्हरऑल कॉर्पोरेट लेवलचे रूल्स रेग्युलेशन्स ॲप्लिकेबल असतील. ओके, सो हिअर वी आर कंबायनिंग बोथ द अप्रोचेस, दॅट इज टॉप डाऊन अप्रोच ॲज वेल ॲज बॉटम अप अप्रोच. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ practical approach. Okay, so in the next video we will look at these building blocks or components of data warehouse. Okay, so thank you.